Shout out to my new subscribers. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate y'all. We'll be doing a Christmas giveaway. Thank y'all so much. Um, I'm gonna try to make this quick. I'm getting right into it. Fat Joe. He got that Rico, the lawsuit, and trafficking allegations. It ain't looking good for Fat Joe right about now. The term Fat Joe Rico primarily refers to the recent 20 million civil racketeer influence and corrupt organization act lawsuit filed against rapper by his former hype man Terrence Dixon. Dang, they was friends. Dixon lawsuit alleges that Fat Joe led a criminal enterprise involving sexual abuse, labor exploitation, and financial fraud. Terrence Dixon wide-ranging lawsuit filed June 2025 says sexual abuse and trafficking. Dixon alleges that Fat Joe forced him to participate in over 4,000 sexual acts. Now, how somebody get a grown ass man to participate in 4,000 sexual acts? Do that make any sense? 4,000 sexual acts, and that the rapper engaged in sexual relations with minors, including a 15-year-old girl for whom he had allegedly paid for a Brazilian butt lift. The lawsuit claims that they were part of a culture of dominance and humiliation. Oh, so they was in S&M, enforced by Fat Joe and his associates. Dixon, who worked as Fat Joe's hype man, lyricist, and creative collaborator for over 16 years, claims he was underpaid, denied songwriting credit and royalties, and systematically excluded from fair compensation. Look, fuck you. The law alleges that Fat Joe controlled Dix through psychological manipulation, intimidation, and threats of violence or abandonment in foreign locations if he refused to demands. So is he saying that Fat Joe forced him to put in sexual relations with him, with the rapper? The Silver Rico claim frames Fat Joe's activities as a wide-ranging criminal enterprise similar to those used in cases against organized crime figures. The lawsuit also names Roc Nation, here go Jay-Z again, as a co-defendant, accusing the company of helping to conceal Dixon's claims. Fat Joe's response. Legal team have vehemently denied all allegations, of course he would, calling them disgusting lies and a blatant act of retaliation. His attorney, Joe, oh, he got a good ass. He got Joe Tapina. Ooh, that guy, he got ASAP Rocky, y'all. Stated that the lawsuit is a desperate attempt to extort money and deflate attention from a prior defamation suit Fat Joe filed against him. Hmm. Okay, let me get out of that. All right, we did that. This the latest. Fat Joe says he was depressed when turning 40 because of anxiety around his career. You 40 years old, you need to diversify. Fat Joe says he got depressed once he reached age 40 because he worried his hit making days might be over. On the latest episode of Joe and Jada, Joe opened up about aging in a career that values partying and young people. and said it was hard for him to re-image his career. I've been rapping, I've been in the game since 19. So when I'm about to turn 40, all I know is standing on couches, pounding bottles. But that 40 hit you like different. I was depressed. It do hit you different. I'm not even gonna answer your ignorant ass, bitch. He added that people have been telling him they'd never seen a rapper hit one out the park after 40. And it's hard to wreck once you. My man Dre from Cool and Dre came over on my birthday. I was straight depressed, and he was like, "Yo, Joe, you know Tina Turner ain't have her first hit till she was 47. What's love got to do? Got to do with it? That's it." So he started breaking all this down, made me feel a lot better because I was scared of what the future was for what we're doing. So what we're doing is we're selling this brand, we're selling this and that, and then for a guy like me, it felt like, oh, they know I'm old now. Jada then joined the conversation, said he actually planned on retiring to rap at age 30. I remember saying I don't want to rap at 30. When 30 came, that was out the fucking question. Then when 40 came, I'm like, yo, got to live a little. I felt like I had a lot more work to do. I didn't know Jada Kiss was that old. A lot of rappers, including Lil Wayne, Raekwon, have plenty of success in their 40s and beyond. However, Andre 3000 admitted in his 2023 that his age was a big factor when it came to him hanging up the microphone. I'm 48 years old. Damn, where did it go? I'm 48 years old, and not to say that age is a thing that ditches what you rap about, but in a way it does. And things that happen in my life, like what are we talking about? I gotta go get a colonoscopy. What are you rapping about? It's like it's going bad. I know that's right. You can find cool ways to say it. I think we all go through that when we hit 40. I'm trying to get back to my. Damn. So we went all over the sex trafficking, the fraud allegations. Maybe we didn't talk about the fraud. I don't think we talked about the fraud. Oh, it's a 157-page lawsuit. He's saying sexual abuse. How? How? Force them into humiliation, including sex acts performed under duress and surveillance, and allegedly threaten abandonment. How? And you a man? How? He alleged he trafficked minors and psychologically groomed them, with Dixon claiming he personally witnessed Fat Joe engage in sexual relations with children who were 15 and 16 years old. He's seeking $2 million for unpaid performance wages, but altogether the suit is $20 million. All right, let's get into these videos because this is the last video for the day. And I had it up on my other phone. Oh, here we go. Damn, I had this many. Okay, we're gonna start with this old.
Say I was to write autobiography on your life. And of course, it will be filled with good things, bad things, and boring things. And it would be okay for me
I'm in Detroit. I'm in Detroit.
to give my
This
personal opinion
is
on your life story.
O'Shea
The
Jackson.
issue would be if I decide to erase your contributions of your life story and then decide to take credit for them as I were your family, they would they'd probably bust a cap on my ass and get me up out of there. Because of the brown and black coalition. Now the black and brown coalition was started, I believe, somewhere in the mid '60s in Chicago. It was supposed to bring Latinos and black who were both suffering from white supremacy together to fight an enemy. And then we found out in the South it wasn't all to we thought. Black, brown coalition. There is some sort of political alliance between Afro-American Negroes and Hispanic. I tell you from living here in the Bronx, there is no black-brown coalition. I've lived in the Bronx for 43 years. It's pretty much have all the
Mhm. The Hispanics have what?
and political power here in the Bronx. And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't take it from the Afro-American Negro. The Afro-American Negro gave it
Gave it.
to the Hispanics
Facts.
in the community. Now,
Facts.
this South
Facts.
Bronx, or the Bronx in general, is credited with creating hip hop. And that culture of hip hop spread all across the world, and we understand. In fact, Joe, they said that Latinos did this.
It wasn't no half and half. However, because y'all was the break dancers. Shit, that's what I remember.
I'm like the only Spanish like with a big voice. Yeah, I was you are you. I don't know these people. They don't get facts. Now that's been the narrative for a long time. Black people were pushing back on that narrative, and we all know where that went. Fat Joe going to Matt Hoffa's podcast, saying that FBA was a bunch of broke N words. Then, as we know, FBA clapped back pretty hard. Fat
So
Joe was
did.
getting trolled online, and it got so bad that Fat Joe decided to do something about it. I realized, not real. Uh, 2 Chainz said I've been monopolizing, so he said, "Yo, let me host. I know I could be a good host." I said, "You know what, my brother, you could be the host." ET Awards. That happened abruptly, which is really crazy because Fat Joe is not African American. But again, when it befits him and he has an opportunity to grip from another community he actually dislikes, it's okay. I guess it's fine for him to give back something that he never qualified for in the first place. But as we know, Fat Joe decided that he would continue on rapping and doing his thing. And that leads us to this post that Brother Tariq put up on his Twitter just the other day, where Fat Joe decided that he would go kick it in Chicago. And then something interesting happened.
He got booed off the stage. Let me get past
because
that.
anybody can add a boring sound effect. This person goes, "You're spot on, Tariq. Fat Joe's comments about hip hop and black people have been out of line, especially considering the culture he been from. It's not
Facts.
how quick some art respect the very foundation they stand on. The whole illusion sentiment in Latin America is real, and they're often the first to sell black people out when it's convenient. The Blues of Chicago send a clear message. You don't get to bite the hand that built you and expect applause. Respect
Facts.
is earned, not oh. Why would they pay to see him? But then another clip came about where this brother who was locked up in prison with some Puerto Ricans said this. A Spanish person is black all day, blacks all day. They get bros. As soon as they people get around their car, 4 5 deep, more is crazy, but they get about 4 or 5 of them, they're gonna start talking Spanish, and then they're gonna start talking about you. Or one gonna start talking about you Spanish, you know what I'm saying? You gonna hear my name, you know that. It's gonna be racist first. When you go to the prison system, don't get who you with. You know what I'm saying? You get 1 2 minutes, they too deep, they pull as hell they back. You know what I'm saying? But Polly Khan coming in, you will see it. They start eating together. In his honest opinion, Puerto Ricans is cool black when it's a few of them. But with a lot of them, all of a sudden, they start to differentiate themselves, leading to a great conversation about the city of Chicago as a whole. You see, Chicago has a large Puerto Rican population, and not only that, a large Latino population, in a city that is divided a lot by race. Chicago is the most segregated city in America.
Facts.
Nobody knows about segregation. Black Chicago know it. And remember, that crushed Chicago very hard. And because it forced a lot of blacks out of their parks and homes on the south side and the west side. And a lot of these immigrants that came into the south side and the west side were, you guessed it,
Facts.
Latino immigrants, raising up crime in those areas and also making things hard for African Americans. So if anybody would understand how much this black and brown color don't work, black Chicagoans know it. And black Chicagoans are the ones that are raising the most hell out of any other minority group in America.
Facts.
When it comes to the migrant crisis.
Facts.
So people are saying this is blues right to be felt. I believe these are the growing tensions that have been happening in Chicago between African Americans. Built his career off the African American community. He needs to understand how he was disrespectful. Now, I want to go back to the first who talked about the situation, Brother Sean James, with African Americans basically giving their power away to those people in the Latino community. Now, some may not say that's just a little bit too much, but give your culture away or your community away by just being apathetic. And if you're not defense in your community, if you're not working with your community, you will give it away because somebody else come in and do.
Facts. We see it all day, every day. Okay, we did that one.
Y'all want to go on TV, man? We back with. Really appreciate it. Now you want to make it, sound like you just passing it on to Joe.
No, I'm not gonna play that one. We're gonna get rid of that one because I already. All right, we're gonna deal with what Corey Holcomb said. I like him.
What's this Fat Joe stuff about? I don't know everything about it. There's something new. Did he say something racist? No.
Well, anytime you got the FBA community.
What is the FBA?
Foundational Black. I always forget what the A stands for. Put it in.
Foundational Black American.
Something like.
Find out what FBA stands for, Nail. Foundational Black America. I've been looking online. I seen Fat Joe had something to say where people in the FBA are against what he said. I don't know what he said.
So basically, this is like to sum it up. The FBA they do righteous work, though. So basically, us being black people that were from here are the most stolen from culture in the world.
Facts.
Still, everything we do, the way we dress, our
Facts.
music, there's countless things that we fought for, from rights to whatever we've contributed, has been taken, and people don't like to give us credit. So the
Facts.
FBA, they just basically stand on business, a vulture type of way. They be online and they smash and they check people. And Tariq Nasheed is one of the top speakers of the FBA. As far as like, but Fat Joe being from Brooklyn and being a rapper,
The Bronx.
a
The
lot
Bronx.
of black people or people of African descent who don't necessarily identify as being who are FBA, foundational black people from America, they basically smash on the fact that, hey, you Jamaican or you're Puerto Rican, but you're not one of us because you don't accept us as one of you. So the things that we started and the things that we captain, you need to fall in line and pay respect where respect's due. And what happened with Fat Joe was the rap thing. So Fat Joe was saying that Puerto Ricans started hip hop, right? And
I had to laugh at that.
and then also Busta Rhymes was saying Jamaicans started hip hop because of Kool Herc being the first DJ. So that's not a correct statement. That's an incorrect statement. Hip hop was started a long time ago by foundational black people during the bebop movement in the 30s. There's been elements of hip hop that existed far before hip hop, but what happened in the early 70s is when hip hop became a culture. And so that's the argument, because hip hop is counterculture. It basically was started because we weren't given an opportunity in mainstream music. The FBA has been smashing on Fat Joe and anybody that is trying to take credit for something that was started by us, people who were descendants of slaves or whatever, however you want to say it. So
The majority of music genres today have been started by FBA or black people in general. I just get so tired of everyone trying to take credit for the things that we've discovered as a people.
And one of the people who speak highly, who go hard for it, is DeJuan Brown. He's really an advocate of it. He goes hard. He be going in on a lot of people, you know what I mean? But it's a big argument because, when it comes down to it, a lot of black people who aren't foundationally black as far as being from America, they be all for the fight according to the FBA when it comes to taking the resources that we fought for. But when it comes down to it, they separate and they identify with what they are when it comes down to it, you know what I mean?
Right, so
don't
they were
really,
basically checking them.
they don't really put us like that.
But you're talking about them. They were checking Fat Joe.
So they were checking Fat Joe. They checked Busta Rhymes. They checked a lot of people. I'm talking about like going.
Well, I know everybody, and it seems like they also checked Math Alpha because that was his podcast where Fat Joe was in the barbershop talking all that shit. Like, they gave him some smoke too.
Most of our residents grew up around the Motor City, so they're enjoying life in their happy place. With a maintenance-free lifestyle, chef-prepared meals, lively events, and friends and loved ones just around the corner.
Wait a minute.
Start by this. These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay. This group of these guys down with them.
Oh, shit. This is what he said.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them. Who ain't black American. This too much copy.
See, it was doing good.
Is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leaders? Oh, man. You gotta be kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
They telling the whole story. This uses black for what they can get out of it. Black people, since the beginning of the world, they use for what they can from us.
Facts.
But they act like we're nothing.
Right.
I'm talking about even like what is Buster Brown?
Jamaican.
Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, they're black when it works.
Facts.
They act like they're more. Not all. Some people know who they are and where they come from.
Right.
But the black people who were taken
Facts.
over there to Spain and turned into what they get turned into.
Right. Right.
I mean, you know what that means when I say
I know what you mean.
all the slave ships that come to.
Yeah, they went in. Right.
Yeah, but everywhere.
Right.
I don't know who Fat Joe is, but you know where you're from. Wherever you from.
See, Fat Joe.
Africa. Do you know that?
Yeah. He identifies that, but at the end of the day, you know, it goes down to Dr. Claude Anderson's definition of racism. His definition of racism is a competition for wealth and resource between groups of people. So even though Fat Joe may be wrong on some of his stands, I don't completely. What the other people are doing is they're on code with their community. And that's what the FBA is trying to music.
Facts.
To be on code. You know what I mean? Like when it's time for them to form like click up and be like whatever Jamaican, Puerto, wherever they're from, we don't do it. So they're allowing me to take resources to that community, take resources, but we need a flag in the dirt and fight. Like no, you know what I mean? No, bro. It's like a nigga stealing your comedy style. It's like a Jamaican nigga talking about side bitches. Bullshit.
Well, that's what they all do. I get scolded all the time. I just keep
But
giving
right.
up most shit. Now everybody talk about broke bitches.
Yeah, but if they said, "Fat, look, I don't know everything about it, y'all, so don't hold me to everything I'm saying." But
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. When I meet you, that's when I really get an idea of who you are. When we did Wildin' Out, one day Fat Joe was a guest. And Fat Joe said, anybody say something about me, I'm going to bust you in the head with a baseball bat.
You lie.
Nigga, I'm a mother... man. I ain't finna lie on no mother... That is some sucker shit my Fat does.
he not playing.
Well, why come on that show?
Exactly. Go ahead, D.
But why
That
that?
Joe was not playing.
Exactly.
I'm like,
He was not playing.
I was saying.
He was not playing.
wrong show.
All this hard. Cause ain't one motherfucker is some of the mob and use their mob to be some of who is an enforcer or whatever. So what I'm saying is when I heard about this, I was like, well, what happened now? Because I don't know what happened. But what I'm saying is this about everybody's shit on black people. Because no,
Facts.
we the most hated. We the most hated.
Facts.
No doubt for 55 years on this planet. It was a bitch who was talking shit about me. This bitch, you know, I'm Nick. Everybody being black, but they use black to get what they can get out of it.
Facts.
That's one thing I know. So I want to say to my people, everybody want to be a nigga, so it's time to be a nigga. When you see people talk shit about black people, trust me, don't, it's a insecurity because they not people are people. Everybody try to be like.
We the shit. We come in all colors, from light to very black.
We are the culture.
Facts.
We are everything. But
Facts.
we are in direct war. The government refuses to let us raise up. Anyway, they not worried about them other people. Rights to be able to do shit. Black people, the people that went and captured and made build this country for free, we are public enemy number one. Because if we realize who we are on a united front, we can't be stopped.
That's a fact.
Bickering. They will always have our women taking pictures on the internet, starting to believe that's really them. We in a bad spot. When you see people talk crazy about us, it's insecurity. 100%. It's
It is. It is.
Did Puffy hook you up when he did Don Cargina? That's a great story. Biggie says, yo, Joe, let's do a song. We did a whole album together. But he said, let's do Don Cargina supposed to have Biggie. And Don Cargina was still. If Biggie never comes out, that makes Puffy. Puffy, I go to the nightclub. I took the animals. Yo, Playboy, let me holler at you right quick. Almost a Suge Knight type of thing. Yo, you go big, my man. This, that. Puff was my man. So I'm like, oh, you hating on it, this and that. Turn around and say, yo, Playboy, I'll do the song with you. That was a shoot at Puff. And that's when Puff Daddy was the biggest guy in the universe. I was like, maybe I'll take Puff Daddy or Don Cargina. Did Puffy hook you up when he did Don Cargina? That's a great story. Biggie says, yo, Joe, let's do a song.
I never knew that.
I had the persona of New Dog Suge Knight. Like, you know, people feared Fat Joe and Terror. What Joe had that was ready to die. His reasoning for going to Fat Joe, because you know he was trying to get Ja Rule, and Fat Joe says, man, Fat Joe got a bunch of street credibility, a bunch of this. It's like a Putin shit. He's like, Putin's brilliant. I got a whole conspiracy theory about 50 Cent. He should be adored or studied, analyzed. I had the persona of New Dog Suge Knight.
Right, but then it came out in the case that you tried to unalive him.
I had, you know, back in hip hop news, I'm just telling it. Crazy Joe. No, crazy. Yeah, this is Crazy Joe. But the Birdman said he's with Tony Braxton for 18 years. Since he married, he did no paperwork. She got a divorce in 2 weeks. And Cornelius, he said the fix this man saying it. He didn't know 18 years. I don't pay producers to the last minute. Let me stop. I love her. It's almost karma. It's almost when we discussed this story in my house, people were saying karma. No. Standing on this, or no, I'm not standing on this. I'm not at the divorce, bro. I'm telling you what the streets are saying, and the Birdman said. The Birdman said he was with her for 18 years, married her. He had no paperwork. She got him. I don't even want to tell you the number. The number's the price of this building. Like, it ain't no regular number. She called him 2 weeks, boss. He had to give her that check.
Damn.
Building.
Damn.
Like a serious, no, they're serious. The price of a high rise in New York, he gave him money like that for 2 weeks marriage.
Damn.
I don't really have a comment on that. You know, it's out of my pay. I don't really know. I'll tell you an easy story, right? This is Crazy Joe, but this is real. Reality, I don't want to say no names, but people can pick up on this. So, I have a neighbor, very successful, like my next door neighbor. Very successful. He wakes me up, said, yo, come over to my house. Yeah, so I go to his house, and some people in his house. It was just, they were very upscale, and they were of color. Phoebe Wallace of the black community, it was at control, right? I never seen people like this, right? And so I'm up in there, and everybody look like they got a master's degree or something. Everybody's smart, whatever, this, that. And so I go up in there, and the man's wife, he had just sold his company for like 100 billion. Everybody knew, it was everywhere. It's got the king, with the car. And she gives a beautiful speech. I love this man. This man is the greatest ever. My husband, I'm so proud. And just like my next door neighbor, we're all the way up. And I was like, wow, this is great. 7 in the morning on Instagram, the wife filed for divorce.
Damn.
The next day, after the speech, premeditated murder. Now, you know they're going to say I lied, but they always say I lied. Some people that were going to say I'm captain.
I'm gonna let that go right there. We get lawsuit, but I gotta keep that for when I do.
Cat Dillinger said something that kind of sparked. Oh, it made a lot of people angry. I'll just say that.
So I got a problem with this. You know, people always saying that Snoop, Dr. Dre, us, everybody, we was jealous of Tupac. How can we be jealous of Tupac and we made Tupac? Now, so we put that album together. We gave him music. We him to be the man of the man. How was we jealous putting his album together? You know what I'm saying? Taking songs from us and giving it to him. How is that jealousy? The only jealousy there was Suge Knight and here and there. You know what I mean? All on this little podcast, always talking shit. Kill that noise. The Dog Pound, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, none of us. It was never jealous of Tupac.
Cat Dillinger said something that sparked.
That was in response to Fat Joe. But I want to keep that. Okay, now we getting into the lawsuit. Oh shit, I have some more. Oh shit, wait a minute. This was got him in trouble.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, these guys don't want to hear Jamaican. Don't want to hear these. They don't want to hear black guys that ain't down with it. Right? So their job is anybody who don't, who ain't black American. Who are these guys? You want me to say it there? We're gonna give them. I mean, the FBA, Foundational Black Authority. Whoever the fuck these books is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And this is second. You see this nigga who run them?
That statement got him booed off stage. But you benefit off of black culture.
You know, yesterday we
This
were
Cuban link, I love Cuban link.
The embassy. That's coming out. Yeah, we hit Cuban. What's up, brother? Yeah, my brother. What's going on? What's going on, man? I mean, we've been, you know, I think this shit we do it. I really sorry, 100%.
Cuban link and Fat Joe been at odds for 20 years. Money.
You know, your little beats Maroon 5 or a bunch of artists, and he got to send out town. I don't know, but if actually one of those, you're not supposed to have a gun in the club. You shoot a gun in the club. That's one side, nigga.
Okay, I'm not gonna play that. No, we gotta get to this lawsuit. Oh, TA the legend speaks out about black. Okay, okay, I see.
As Dillinger said something that kind of
Recently,
sparked.
the internet has been
Well, it made a lot of people angry. I'll just say that.
Fat Joe went to Math Hoffa.
All right, let me. I'm gonna delete that. We ain't playing that. I'm gonna keep that one for.
Dillinger said something that kind of sparked. Well, it made a lot of people angry. I'll just say that.
So I got a problem with this. You know, people.
All right, I'm not playing that. Okay, here
As
we go.
Dillinger said something that sparked. Well, it made a lot of people angry. I'll just say that.
So I got a problem with this.
Let me close that. Okay, here goes the part. This is Ticket TV.
Has been accused and is now suing his ex-husband claim no traffic or to down out of orchestrated by an attorney who a
I
federal
just
judge.
read all that, so I'm gonna delete that because we ain't got to deal with that. I already read that. Damn. This is Unique Mecca Audio. I love him.
The lawyer didn't calculate is that you have put all your eggs in the basket and done notified the federal government to go less than 24 hours when he could have used that 20. Dixon adds that the hip hop star behind such chart toppers as What's Love got rich and famous while he and his associates deliberately suppressed silence and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic, and commercial contributions, which were fundamental to professional success and professional man seeking up to $90 million because he was the hype man. Y'all, you think a hype should be compensated royalties for shaking his ass on stage,
No,
working on stage?
no, not 20 million.
Diddy stimulus. Now they trying to get the Fat Joe stimulus. They trying to get the bag out of Joe. Now, in 2024, Blackburn filed a lawsuit on behalf of media accusers Little Rock, which was off. According to Dixon, right? The defendant was in love with minor Doe 3. He even contemplated leaving his wife. Now that's supposed to piss his wife off. His with black his horse overseas. This is what they get. They put her and put her in condo. He rented a few months with his wife. Some states, so they say they hit the condo around the corner of that side piece while he went home with his wife and crept to the side piece when he with the side piece. In a recorded conversation, Minor 3 and her 15-year-old husband described in detail to plaintiff how appropriate it was for defendant who was in peace at the time to be fawning over children. And if you're
Wow.
that intelligent to know that,
Wow.
then why would you get involved in that? And is she talking from now, 15 years later, or from back then? Somebody put in the comments, stay ready to subscribe. What up? Alright? Now, Fat Joe is represented by celebrity who had Donald Trump in high profile cases. Responded to lawsuits saying in the statement to Variety, the lawsuit filed by Roman and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of litigation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first, which exposed their coordinated scheme to extort Mr. Cardenas through lies and allegations. So they sued Blackburn and this dude PA first. And then now they say that this is retaliation for their suit. But I mean, now they even back up because Tony Busby couldn't get them going with this. I can't respond to the saying that law enforcement is aware of the man at the heart of this scheme. The allegations against Mr. McNichols are complete signs intend to damage his reputation and Diddy, but I came up here to let y'all know because I'm standing on morals and principles that what they doing to Diddy is dead wrong and they're gonna start rappers one by one. They put their police in the bring y'all down. They could bring y'all down. Wayne and two rappers, but it was nothing different to Maddie. They got new, and her name is Rico.
Facts. Facts.
Y'all better pay attention, man. I say don't do nothing for me, so I don't give a crap what happened. Let's say that right off the roof. Principle chose a man of principles on the strength of that. I gotta defend anything that I see that's smearing, his character. Joe don't owe me nothing. Diddy don't owe me nothing. We just ran the same circles and partied together. At the same time, if I was in their shoes, they would look, they came out and looked out for them by any means. But I'm gonna hold my morals on them. But I'm not gonna disrespect his character either. You're just a hype man, my dude. Where they do this?
Right.
Oh man.
I have to agree.
The complaint cites a accountant who came forward last year recorded that helped paint the picture of the alleged misdeeds. The move comes after Fat Joe sued Dixon in April for slandering him on social media by claiming that the Bronx-born rapper who enjoys high-level political connections flew a 16-year-old girl across state lines for X. That also named Dixon's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, tried to shake him down settlement, and that wasn't sitting right with Blackburn. And as a man, I got to defend Blackburn too. Blackburn said, "Hold up, you don't fire a shot at me in the court. It's time for me to fire back." You know what I mean? And you fight on court. That's how Blackburn feel it, and you got to understand where he's coming from. So they both have a point of view. But I say, you know what I mean? But engage in deliberate schemes in the effort to conceal their extensive wage theft. Right? I mean, it was Robert, for his pay for twerking on stage. Artificially inflate Dixon's tax liabilities, exposure to unwarranted toys, penalties, and to that girl, the exploit.
Mm, mm, mm.
Oh my God, you guys, come in, sit down, and shut the door. Fat
I
Joe
can't
is
stand
accused of
her.
Diddy like crimes, and baby, this one is a doozy. What is going on? Remember we said that Diddy wanted to set the level and that the prosecution there's be so many other people all be messed up on the roster. Fat Joe Harris squad. You know, breakdown is ridiculous. Okay, listen. Here's evidence in play. I had to take notes. There's so much. Remember, we're gonna go live read the lawsuit. The main law of the state. Rico. He's trying to get him on a Rico Act, TVPA, Trafficking Victims Protection Act, federal wire and mail fraud, and unjust enrichment, fraud, and infliction of emotional distress. Maybe let's get into this, all right? So the plaintiff is Terrence Dixon. Again, we're going to go in deeper, but we got to talk about this. The plaintiff is Terrence Dixon. He served as Fat Joe's hype man, writer, vocalist, tour manager, and bodyguard, 2005 to 2. He promoted or distributing to multiple hits and international tours. And I said that. I said, okay, so this sounds. And I've been hearing whispers about what was going on his side. But get this, he also alleges psychological abuse, financial theft, sexual coercion, and violent intimidation. Who are the defendants? All right, they're saying Fat Joe, Joseph Cartagena is ringleader. Pistol Pete is the muscle and enforcer. Richard
Pistol
Player,
Pete.
Richard Joseph manager and internal enforcer. And Erica, there's Erica Moriera, is a fake lawyer who set up the shell for laundering money. Oh my God. Boring LLC and Slate Incorporated, a corporate front for fraud. They also got Rock Nation here. Rock Nation just benefited from the tour or whatnot. The main Rico is Fat Joe. Okay, so here's the allegations. Unpaid labor and song theft. So Terrence claims that he co-wrote and performed 20 or more songs. We all got congratulations, ice cream, etc. He was allegedly promised 15% earnings and credit, but he received nothing. He got gold awards, flips, SCAP, cutting him out. I think that's the record, people. Hold on, y'all. I know we're starting slow. Money laundering. Fat Joe allegedly collected hundreds of thousands in cash and didn't report it. He used fake W-2s to inflate Terrence income on IRS records to hide wage theft. The stickers were up in the operated as a front for fight low salary. And defendants filed for fraudulent PPP loans using torrent. Tour exploitation and financial control. They said he was booked for over 200 shows, but only paid 250 show. Contracts showed that they paid him $3,000. His per diem of $100 a day was routinely stolen. He slept in lobbies while others for class and allegedly took $30K Live Nation check meant for Terrence and used it to pay his own taxes. Y'all, let's get into this. The special coercion and control. Maybe this is a detailed unpacking. Now, there is a section of the lawsuit that alleges that Fat used smacks as a method of psychological domination, humiliation, and subjugation. These weren't isolated he's claiming, and they were groupie culture. This was a systematic pattern of sexual coercion used to break and control Terrence. Here's how it unfolded. Okay,
I already
this is
cussed him.
basically less to this, okay? He said he wasn't just performing music. He was allegedly forced to perform sexually, not for his own gratification, but maintain access access to income, travel, shelter, and safety. Fat Joe allegedly made it clear that compliance equals survival. You refuse, gets canceled. You refuse your spot. Okay, so there was
Wow.
space humiliation and one specific incident in Miami. After a show, Fat Joe allegedly brought a woman to his hotel suite. He ordered Terrence to sleep with her in a group. With the bathroom door open, get your D hard, Terrence, or they're calling him TA. Members of the group, including Pistol Pete and JB, reportedly watched and laughed. One joke, yo, I'm not about to stand here and watch this ninja tea. Terrence let not participate, but he felt he had no choice. Also, the surveillance and direction. These special performances were sometimes filmed, sometimes directed. The environment was described as under surveillance. There were cameras, management staff. They even said nation's team were allegedly aware. Joe was orchestrated who takes it. Sometimes gave verbal instructions. Is this not logical shame? Now, he said there was retaliation for refusal. On at least one occasion, Terrence refused to comply with the Tax Act. In response, Joe canceled his flight, left him stranded overseas, and cut off access to money or shelter, making him fully dependent on Joe's approval to survive. And there was also creepy of ownership. Let's just say Joe made it clear that his bodies and his actions were not his own. The expectation was be sexually available on command, never say no, or you're out. And this wasn't about pleasure, it was about enforcing loyalty through humiliation. Now, these actions are framed in the lawsuit, textbook making under coercion, especially the forced performance of the threat, leading to the financial physical control, repetition over time. He claimed over 4,000 acts he was forced to perform, and the occurrence of state lines intentional. You guys also claimed
Wow.
lining him up. They said that when he started to complain, Fat Joe attempted to hint. Now let's talk about the retaliation attempt after he began to assert his rights publicly. Now there's supposedly a recording of the setup. The lawsuit includes a recorded call between Pistol Pete, Fat Joe's enforcer, and a man named Percy, a mutual contact of Pete Terrence. Here's the plan. Allegedly to get in touch with PA and Terrence and convince him of the meetup. Advice could deal with, so the interpreted deal interpreted as a violent ambush. These are the key quotes from the audio. You know, he can't come around the hood. He's be my hood could bring me like they always done. Just want to bring it right to where you at. He implies that TA violated Joe by speaking out, and retaliation was expected. And when Percy refused to help line TA up, Pete replied, don't bring a ninja to you. I'm not never doing that. Of course, lining up, I don't know. I guess that speaks for putting a hit out on someone. So, was there a real attempt? Well, from the lawsuit, there was no attack occurred. This one clearly outlines a conspiracy set him up for even worse. The threat to
Wow. Like this is I done got trouble. Well, that's the case we're gonna be looking at. We got a whole bunch of 56. Oh, there you go. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.